How you guys doing? This 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com, and this is breaking down the books. Now, yesterday we had a pretty balanced day. I'm not gonna go over all the picks, trying to make this a short show. But anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna get right into it. Always trying to get better, always trying to do better. But before I really do get into it, I'd like you guys to go ahead and smash that like button, share, subscribe, tell all your friends what we're doing here. We cashing, we getting these picks. If you're singling out, we're doing good. And that's pretty much it. If you're doing parlays, then you might have hit a few days and might have missed a few days, such as myself. But I always try to hedge myself just by doing singles. I feel it's a good way to keep a balance and keep your money game and basically to keep a good bankroll management kind of thing going on. There's no real strategies to this outside of taking your time, pacing yourself, increasing your bets incrementally, and basically bankroll management. That's all it comes down to. Anyways, without further ado, I'm gonna get right into it. Today we got the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Colorado Avalanche. For the Avalanche, we got Grubauer at net, who's expected to play, and we got Fleury at net, who's expected to play for Vegas. Now Vegas, Fleury is 7-2 on the season, doing very well at home. He's sporting a 2.04 goal against average and a 93% save percentage. He's 0.3% shy of 94, which is really good. That's numbers that Carey Price should be having, Mr. Max Player in the league. But anyways, that's a whole nother story for another time. But anyways, he's sporting a 2.04 goal against average, which is really good, and he's playing at home today. And they're playing versus the Colorado Avalanche with Grubauer. Grubauer has a 2.82 goal against average. Not so shabby himself, but a 9 point, basically a 91% goal percent, 91% save percentage. So not as good, but still pretty decent. Like he's above the 90 marker. Anyways, Vegas is actually 1-4 at the spread, but remember they've been on a road game. They've been on a road swing, a road trip where they had a lot of road games. They're 5-2 straight up in the last 7 games, which is not that bad. Really good rather. But on the plus side, they're 2-4 at the spread in the last 6 games at home. Colorado, on the other hand, Colorado's 4-1 at the spread in their last few games, and they're 7-1 at the spread on the road. So these are really remarkable numbers. We basically have two sets of players right here two sets of teams right here who are basically both good on at home and respectively good on the road. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Vegas is a heavy favorite at 58 cents on your buck, and the total is at 6.0. I would think that this game is going to go under, although Vegas is they're an over team for the most part, but I feel like this game's going to go under. We got two goalies that we could kind of depend on here with a relatively good goal against averages, but Vegas is a high power team who could actually shoot the puck. Got a lot of guys who could shoot the puck, and I'd be interested to see what happens here. The under 6.0 is appealing to me. I would actually buy points here and go under 6.5, but that wouldn't necessarily be a smart pick anyways. So I'm just gonna skip this game altogether. I lean under, and I don't like a favorite here. I don't like honestly. I don't like a pick here because I would pick Colorado to win, and they're a heavy dog, and it wouldn't necessarily be a good idea either. Like yes, Colorado is good at home, on the road at the spread, but they're pretty much paying the same thing for the 1.57 that they would be for Vegas. So you know what? I'll give you the 1.5. I'll give you Colorado 1.5 to cover against Vegas today. So even if they do lose, we hedged our bet simply by stating the fact that they're not going to lose by more than that. And we're going to start off with that as our official play. Moving along, we got the Arizona Coyotes versus the New Jersey Devils. Devils are horrible, but somehow they're favored. Arizona's been playing all right. They're honestly they're paid. Like I love what Arizona is doing. Every single game they're giving you the same Arizona. They're giving you grinded out hockey, and I love it. You know what I mean? They have an identity, and I trust what they're doing over there. We have Ranta, who's expected to play today, versus Mackenzie Blackwood. Blackwood is really not that good. He's sporting a 3.15 goal against average and an 88.6 save percentage, which is really not good. He's playing Ranta. Ranta only played 2 games, one victory, one overtime loss. He's sporting a 2.44 goal against average and 9.26. But we can't really take Ranta's numbers into consideration because he only really played 2 games. But honestly, like I said, I like what Arizona is doing. I'll take Arizona and live with the results. They have an identity. Devils, obviously, they're trying to pick up the pace, trying to get more W's, trying to get more wins, and fair enough. But I like the underdog here, and we're gonna go with that. Granted, Arizona is, if I'm not mistaken, Arizona is on a back-to-back, where they just lost yesterday to the Islanders. We had them yesterday also, and well, I had them yesterday. So I mean, anyways, back to backs are tough, but I'm gonna go with the road dog here. I'm gonna go with Arizona, and I'd probably lean under, but I feel like despite being a team who could actually play grinded out hockey, I feel like they'll be able to get a lot of shots off. I think they're going to be able to get a lot of goals off on this New Jersey Devils team. So and it's a shame because I actually like the Devils. You know, it's a shame what's going on with them. Hopefully they pick it up throughout the season, but I don't think it's going to be today. I think the more seasoned team is going to have, and when I say seasoned, I mean they played yesterday. So I feel like they're going to have a better chance at winning this game. Now we're moving on to the Sharks. Sharks versus Maple Leafs. If you're not picking the Maple Leafs minus 1.5, then you shouldn't be picking anything. Sharks just played yesterday versus Montreal. They're probably high off their win. They traveled to Montreal, so they're still on a road trip. They just swung a 5 hour drive. If I'm not mistaken, they actually drove. I might be wrong. It's an hour flight, but they might have actually drove. They might have actually taken the bus. If they did take the bus, this is fun fact. If you guys are interested, go and check it out. Just go and find out if they drove, if they flew. I'm gonna check it out on my own time, just before game time. But that's gonna be an interesting fact because they're heavy underdogs here, and they just played yesterday. So if they flew, it would change a lot. If they didn't, then anyways, Martin Jones is getting the start today. At the last minute, they ended up pulling Martin Jones and putting in Aaron Dell, who played better than Martin Jones. Martin Jones sucks. We got Freddie Anderson at net for Toronto. Martin Jones allowing 3.46 goals against in his games, and Freddie Anderson allowing 3.19, but he actually has a 90% save percentage. Not so good, but his team is a high powered team, could actually give you points to counteract what they're doing. If Toronto doesn't find a way to protect their goalie, they'll fuck around and lose this game. But I'm gonna give you Toronto minus 1.5 to cover against this garbage ass Sharks team who looked really good yesterday, but I think it's only because they played a lackadaisical Montreal. And give me Toronto minus 1.5 to cover against the Sharks. Moving along, we got the Buffalo Sabres versus the Detroit Red Wings. Now, you got Red Wings, who are underdogs at home, versus the Sabres, who also just played yesterday, took a 6-2 loss to New York. Um, we got for the Red Wings, we got Jimmy Howard at net, who's only won one game out of five. Horrible. You got Allmark at net for the Sabres. Allmark was supposed to play yesterday for the Sabres. They ended up pulling him and putting in bad boy Carter Hutton, who actually, poor guy, ended up getting pulverized by New York. So that was that. That happened. But yeah, anyways, long story short, Allmark is sporting a 3.18 goal against average with a 913 save percentage, and Jimmy Howard is allowing damn near 4 goals a game. I don't have a pick in this game because if I were to pick something, I would pick the Sabres, but they're on a back to back. Back to backs haven't been proving to be too well today. We could get into some statistics just to see how they've actually been doing as teams, because this is obviously breaking down the books. And before I go ahead and give you guys a few of these stats, I'd like you guys to go ahead and smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends what's going on here. We're giving out free picks. We're breaking down the book so you don't have to. And we're trying to cash. That's pretty much it. So, in the last few games, Detroit is 1-5 at the spread, 0-5 in the last five, so they're on a nasty losing streak. You got Buffalo, who's 10-4 in the last 14 games. Obviously, this is spanning over the last few seasons, last season rather. They're 10-3 in their last 13 straight, and the total actually went under in 7 of their last 10 games in Detroit. So look out for that under in this game. Detroit is actually 1-5 at the spread. Sorry, 1-5 straight up in the last six versus Buffalo. With all that said, while I don't like a pick in this game, I would definitely go with the Sabres. But I like I said, I don't like a pick in this game, and I'm not gonna give one because I think it's a trap. If I were to pick something, I would honestly pick Detroit to win. But I don't you know, you can't roll with a losing team just like you can't bet against a winning team. So I'm not gonna do that today. Moving along, Islanders versus the Senators. The Senators are underdogs at home. Again, what do we expect? The total's at 6.0. Senators have Anders Nielsen at net, while Thomas Greiss is going to be behind between the pipes for the Islanders. Islanders played yesterday, beat up the Coyotes 4-2 victory. Ottawa's been rested for a little bit, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens today. We could get into a few of the stats, although there might not necessarily be such a big deal. Because honestly, Thomas Greiss been amazing. The Islanders been amazing. They've been looking really good. If you're not betting on the Islanders, then you should really have a reason to bet on Ottawa. And let's see if we could give you a reason. And before I give you a reason, again, I'd like you guys to go ahead and smash that like button. I know I'm stressing you about it, but I'm not seeing any likes. I'd love to get some likes. It'd be greatly appreciated. Go ahead and smash that like button. Tell your friends what's going on here. We're breaking down the book so you don't have to. I keep on telling y'all, we're doing this. I'm doing this for you guys. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not getting paid out of this. I'm not getting any money. I'm not asking you guys for nothing. Like, you guys want premium picks, you're free to contact me on Twitter. You're free to check me out on bookiebullies.com, but I'm not charging for any of this stuff. If you want me to manage your portfolio, I could do that also, but I'm not asking you for any of this stuff. I'm just go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. That'd be great. So Ottawa's actually 1-6 straight up in the last 7 when playing New York, and New York honestly haven't even been that good. They obviously are in the Metro Division, and they see each other at least 4 times a year. So Islanders, remember, last year Islanders had Robin Leonard, and so we can't really take those numbers into consideration. But 1-6 should be saying a lot. If you're picking the Islanders, if you're picking the Islanders today, you're not crazy. If you have Ottawa, then you might be on something. So, um, but or maybe you just know something that I don't, like. But I'm not trying to lose my money. I want to make money here. You know what I mean? And if you guys don't want to make money, that's on you. But I would rather not lose mine. If anything, I would give you Islanders to cover a minus 1.5. That's a little far fetched. I'm not going to give a play at all, but I lean Islanders to cover in a back to back. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't like a back to back situation, which is why I'm not giving a pick. Moving along, we got the Washington Capitals. Nationals. Nationals is what we're going to hit up next. So we got the Capitals versus the Canucks. Capitals just played yesterday in a game that I gave the over. I thought that they were gonna do a good job against Koskinen, and they did. They ended up getting 3 goals on that bad boy, but they ended up ultimately losing in overtime. So they're overworked today. This is a team like I said, they went to overtime and they played a lot of hockey. So then they have to travel. So they were in Edmonton, and they had to travel a few hours to go to Vancouver. The travel is a bitch, I'm telling you. Like, it's no fun. We got Samsonov at net, who's 3-1 on the season. Which he still got a remarkable save percentage with a 933 save percentage, and he's a 1.84 goal against average, playing really well. You got Markstrom, or Jacob Markstrom, I believe he pronounces it Jakob, with a 4-2 record. 215 goal against average, and a 9.33 of his own. If anything, I would pick the under in this game. Washington's kind of an over team, but I would pick the under in this game. I had the over yesterday. I got the under today. I don't have a winner, because if I had to pick a winner, I would go with the Vancouver Canucks. And honestly, I like in back to backs. Washington is one of those teams in back to backs that they're one of those teams who will be able to hit you in the back to back. Like, you know what I mean? They'll get a victory, especially after a loss. These guys are bounce. They're a bounce back team. So we obviously don't have a lot of plays, but I like what I like. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to force anything here. I'm gonna give you guys what I see, and let's see if there's even really a logistic reason um, to be betting on Washington or either side really. So Vancouver's 5-0 in their last 5 games at the spread. They're 6-1 straight up. Washington's 4-1 straight up. The over went over 5 out of the last 5 times they played. So my under is actually a dangerous pick. Washington is actually 7-1 in the last 8 games that they played against Vancouver. That's versus Vancouver and not in Vancouver. And they're 3-7 when playing in Vancouver. So if you want Vancouver tonight, you're not crazy. Out of 10 times that they played Vancouver on the road, they lost 7 times. So they lost a 70%. They have a 70% chance of losing to Vancouver tonight. And the over actually went over 4 out of the last 5 times they played on the road against Vancouver, which doesn't really pertain to me as much because again we're talking over a few seasons. But that record against Vancouver matters to me because Vancouver really wasn't that good last year, and they really weren't that good the year before. So if what and Washington's pretty much been the same core outside of the coaching change. So if you have Vancouver today, you're not crazy. Washington's in a back-to-back situation and all that. But I like the under. I like the under. I would even buy points and go with a 6.5. But I like the under in this game, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna go with the hockey. So breaking down the hockey again, we're gonna start with the under in the Canucks. We got Toronto to cover the minus 1.5. We got Arizona to win in a back-to-back situation against a horrible New Jersey Devils, and we got Colorado Avalanche not to lose by the 2 goals in this game. Moving along, we are gonna go into the MLB. Now, in the MLB, we got a home team, Washington Nationals, playing versus, well, you know who. They're playing versus the Houston Astros. Now, who do we got at net today? Who do we got at net today? At net. Who do we got on the mound? Let's see what we got going on today. So, as we all know, Washington is 2-0 in this series. If you guys been following, you've been cashing because I gave Washington both games. And I also gave an under, which didn't hit, but I've been giving Washington. I gave an in play. Follow me on Twitter at 514 Mystic. I give in plays. Those in plays cash. Like, I give high paying in plays. And like, if you have any of these online bookies, I'm telling you, if you guys have any of the online books and you go ahead and pick any of the, because I'm not giving you like a 2 to 1 or a 1.5 to 1 or whatever the case. I'm giving you 4 to 1s often. I'm giving you outrageous numbers. And yeah, granted, they're not always gonna hit, but like they're well worth the time. And so go ahead, follow me on 514 Mystic hashtag in play king. You know what I mean? This is where like before the game starts, I'm capping, I'm breaking down, and I'm doing what I gotta do. When the game starts is when the work really begins for me. So I make most of my money doing in plays. I don't call myself in play king for no reason. I'm honestly like it's not even to be boastful or anything like that. I really kill those in plays. Like yes, I lose, but when they hit because they're big numbers. So today we got Greinke on the mound versus Anibal Sanchez. Now Sanchez is sporting a 3.85 ERA, a 1.27 WHIP with 134 strikeouts, but 134 strikeouts again across 166 innings played. So just be wary of your strikeouts when you look at them. Greinke, well, we all know Greinke, 3.02 ERA, 1.07 WHIP, 52 strikeouts across 62 innings. Very, very good. Um, if honestly, I don't know honestly what's going on in this game. Like I hate to think that the Astros are gonna get swept here, man. I would hate to think that they're gonna get swept, but fuck. I mean Washington, sorry my language, but Washington's been killing it. Washington's been killing it. I mean, they're just on another level right now. And I totally called it, man. I said that they're gonna I totally called that they're gonna win the World Series. But like I don't know if it's not over yet. They're only up 2-0, but it's gonna be crazy. Washington's actually 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games when playing at home against Houston. So for Houston to be a heavy favorite like they are right now is only justifiable by Greinke being on the mound. And the under actually hit in the last 13 of 18 games that Houston's played on the road. So an under over here might not be crazy. It's 8.0, and every game's pretty much gone over. So it might be a little bit more defensive today. Who knows? Maybe these pitchers are gonna try to oust each other. But I like the Nationals here again. I'm sorry. I hate to bet against it. 8-1 over the last 9. I mean that speaks for itself, man. That speaks numbers. So to me, I'm going with Washington. I'm gonna go with Washington to go up 3. Honestly, maybe Houston could play better and maybe they could win. Or you know what? Sorry, no. Instead, I'm going to give you Washington plus 1.5 to not lose by more than 2 runs. I think that's the smarter way to go. We're trying to make money. We're trying to cash. I'm not trying to go arrogant just because it's like, yes, it's 2 to 1. It's a 225 to 1. It might even be paying a little bit more depending on the book that you're choosing. But it's a 225 to 1. It might be paying a little less depending on the book you're choosing. but it's basically a 2-1 underdog. And I would much rather go with the plus 1.5, the safe route, because I hate to believe that Houston Astros, because if Houston loses today, I think they get swept. So I would hate to think that the Astros are going to get swept. I would go with the with the plus 1.5. So we're gonna move along to the association. Sorry, I don't break down football. You guys want football? You go ahead and check out that bad boy Kobe Williams, who's been absolutely crushing shit. You know, Kobe Williams been absolutely crushing shit. Go and check him out. And give me one moment here. Yeah, so Kobe Williams been basically crushing it here. So you guys go and check him out. He has his own YouTube show. Just you could YouTube Kobe Williams. You could YouTube Bookie Bullies. He'll probably pop up right under these videos of me doing these. There's other clappers will be doing some shows in the future. So stay on the lookout for that. And that's pretty much it. Now we're gonna break down some basketball. Again, I'm gonna tell you like I told you the last few days. I'm not gonna give you guys any numbers because they don't really matter right now. All that matters is what you know, and what I know is what I know. Take that. Now, we starting with the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte are really not that good, nor is Minnesota. Minnesota's not as good as they looked versus Brooklyn the other day. I'm sorry. You guys want to pick Minnesota, go right ahead. I would much rather stay away from this game or bet the under 226. But that's not a wise pick because Minnesota is actually an over team. They go over in damn near every single game that they play. Give me a skip for this game. Now we got the Toronto Raptors versus the Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics are stupid favorite at a minus 2.5. Raptors are underdog, defending champs. Raptors, keep in mind, people think that just because the Raptors lost Kawhi Leonard that they're not going to be good. The Raptors had no Kawhi Leonard for about 25 games last season. At least, maybe more, but 25 games. And in those 25 games that they played without Kawhi, they probably only lost 5. The Raptors are still the same team. They're still the same core. Give me the Raptors not only to cover the spread, but to beat the shit out of the Boston Celtics. Boston is not that good. They're not as nice as you think they are. And you guys are going to see that this season. Everybody got Boston to win in the playoffs or to go forward. Give me Toronto today, money line. I don't care. I'll live with the Heat. That's it. That's all. So we got 2 Toronto teams. We got Toronto to cover in hockey, and we got Toronto money line today. Moving along, we got Brooklyn Nets versus the New York Knicks. That spread is way too high for my liking. 8.0. Kyrie Irving is awesome and all of that, but his team did not show me anything that I was interested in. At 8.0, I would much rather not bet on that at all. It's a 229 total, and I like the under in this situation. I think Brooklyn could be a better defensive team. I think they allowed the Minnesota Timberwolves to get a little bit too hot too early. So I like the under in this game. I like a little bit more defense. I like the Knicks not to score. I like the Brooklyn Nets to play a little bit more defense. And Knicks are gritty. I'm gonna tell you this again. Knicks are gritty. If it wasn't for Popovich screaming at his guys the other day on the bench, letting them know that hey, what the hell's going on here? You guys are letting these guys look like superstars. Then they would have probably gone on to not only cover but to win the game. But they covered. They covered. So give me the under in that game. I don't like Brooklyn. Go and check me out on 514 Mystic on Twitter. And stay tuned for if the Knicks go up too early or whatever the case is. I would probably bet on Brooklyn to come back for a victory because that in play is going to be juicy when it drops. Anything below 6 is going to be juicy for me. I don't like an 8.0 favorite for the Brooklyn Nets. I think they show up tonight, but I'm not banking on it. I didn't like what I saw. Moving along to Memphis versus Chicago. Chicago blew a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter, and I can't fuck with them. I'm sorry. So I'm not going to bet on that game. If anything, I'd bet on the over, 224, but I don't have a bet in that game. I don't bet on shit teams. Moving along. We got Dallas versus New Orleans. Interesting game, pretty well matched up. New Orleans is an over team, so I can't put the under. Dallas, I we had Dallas the other day to cover the 8.5 against Washington, and they damn near covered that 8.5. They were up 20 points and then allowed Washington to come back and get right to a point 5. They just had it. They had it, and honestly, I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that Dallas let up. Obviously, it's opening night, so they probably just wanted to preserve guys. Remember, Kristaps Porzingis is still coming off an injury. But I didn't like the fact that they weren't able to cover. So they're justifiably underdogs, obviously. Pelicans played an overtime game versus Toronto where they actually looked really good. They actually looked really good. But I don't like a play in this game mostly because I think Dallas could pull off a victory here, and I think they're very evenly matched, these two teams. The over is not a good pick. Sorry, the over is a good pick if you guys want the over, but I would rather not pick a play in this game at all. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. Moving along, we got Washington Wizards versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City took Utah to the limit. People, and I'm telling you guys, people thought that OKC was going to be horrible. I like. They're probably going to be horrible, yes, but I like Chris Paul on that team. Remember, you got guys that got into foul trouble. You got Steven Adams who had foul trouble, who was actually doing a really good job on Rudy Gobert in that game. And he ended up having to be a little bit more passive on defense because he was playing with like 4 fouls in the third quarter. So, but anyways, I really like what OKC is doing. Wizards are really no good. They played Dallas. They almost got blown out. They showed some fight, but they almost got blown out. And they're limited inside. They're limited on the interior. They're limited with their bigs. I like OKC to cover here, but I'm not gonna make a play. If anything, I'll give you the under 219, but I don't like that either because Wizards just don't play defense. I mean, they just don't. Wizards, they're also an over team. I mean, they go over so often, and I can't bank on that. So if anything, it looks like I'm being a pussy. So if anything, I'm gonna give you guys OKC to cover this spread, and that'll be that for that game. And moving along, Phoenix versus Denver. My God, poor Phoenix, man. These guys took a nasty blow with DeAndre Ayton getting suspended 25 games on diuretics, trying to mask whatever it is that he was taking. They looked really good versus Sacramento. I thought they were like I remember capping that game and I thought they were pretty evenly matched and they were until the fourth quarter came and these guys just started beasting away. They just started taking over and running away with that lead. And it's too bad what happened there. I like the over in this game versus Denver. Denver got a disappointing had a big win against Portland. That matchup was neck and neck the whole time until finally they ran away with it. Phoenix goes over a lot. They allow guys to go over a lot. I'm not sure who they're gonna try to put on Jokic right now. It's gonna be interesting to see. But that guy's so versatile, man. Phoenix goes over. Denver is a team that they push the pace a lot. We basically have two teams who average about 100 possessions a game. 100 possessions a game. Factor in the threes. We got 50% of each. So 50% of your shots go in. 50% of the other team's shots go in. That's already 200 points. Minus the free throws. The free throws are not even included in that. The 3 pointers that both teams are going to be launching. I like the over in this game. I like the over in this game. And Portland versus the Kings. Portland couldn't get it done in their home opener. Now the Kings got their home opener in their own respects, who couldn't get it done against Phoenix. I like Portland to cover here. That -2 I find is a little bit low. People might feel like it's a trap. I think it's a little bit low. Kings are very, very, very slim down low. We got big boys in Portland. These guys are big, man. They're gonna be those big men are big, man. You know what I? So I like Portland to cover today for a change. 2.0 is a little bit low, so I would go with Portland money line. It's fair enough, but like honestly, I better safe than sorry, especially if you're gonna do a parlay. So I would go with Portland money line, but honestly, that spread, man, is probably the gimme of the night. Looking like a gimme of the night, if you ask me. Ooh, I got a little tilt there. I tapped my lappy. Now, last but not least, got the Utah Jazz versus the LA Lakers. Did you see what the Lakers did the other day? I wasn't impressed. No, 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 I was not impressed. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, David. Oh, no, David. I don't like what you're doing there, David. Oh, no, 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 David. I don't like a play in this game. I'm going to have to watch and see what happens, you know? Yeah, for sure. Lakers, LeBron, AD. But you got Rudy Gobert down low. Rudy Gobert is not no punk bitch. He's not going to just let AD and LeBron run all over him and dunk all over him. He's gonna try to defend every single chance he gets. You know what I mean? They have a very defensive backcourt, and I don't know if they're gonna put. I would doubt that they're gonna put Conley. Conley's no Patrick Beverly, but Conley could play defense. Remember, he was the backcourt on the grind in the grindhouse in Memphis. So I'd be interested to see what happens there. I can't bet on the Lakers. I'm sorry. But you know what? I'll give you guys the under 216.5 in this game. There's a lot of picks. I'm giving you guys a lot of picks here. I shouldn't even be giving you all these picks, but I'm giving you a lot of picks here. So I like the under in this game to keep the game a defensive game. They were able to keep it defensive against OKC. I think that they're going to be able to do the same thing versus the Lakers. They at least have an identity. I don't know what the hell the Lakers are doing, and that's all that I have to say about that. Hopefully, they change what they're doing with LeBron James and being all this passive. I'm interested to see what happens there. Honestly, I was not impressed with the Clippers game. They had it in the books. They had it in the pocket. I had a nasty in play on that also. I had the Lakers when they were down 10, and they were paying about 460 to one, and I should have cashed out because I deal with a few books, and those books allow you to cash out. I should have cashed out honestly because they obviously we know that they went on to lose, but they came and they tied the game, and I should have cashed out. Even if it was paying half the payout, I should have cashed out because they did not perform up to par. Anthony Davis got shut down in the second half. It was sad to see. So I'm gonna give you guys the under in this game. I don't think it's gonna be more of the same, but I do think that Utah is gonna be able to kind of play the same way that they've been playing over the course of their season. And it's only been one game, right? But I think Utah's going to be able to keep up with the Joneses. So I give you the under in that game. Anyways, we're going to give you the Bookie Bullies rundown of this board. So starting from the top, we got the Colorado Avalanche plus 1.5, Arizona Coyotes money line, got the Toronto Maple Leafs minus 1.5. We got the under in the Caps game. We got the we got we got the plus 1.5 in the Nationals game. We got Toronto Raptors money line against the Boston Celtics. We got the Brooklyn Nets under 229, OKC to cover the 8.0 versus this garbage ass Washington team. We got the over in the Phoenix and Denver game. We got Portland Trailblazers money line, and we got the under in the Jazz and Lakers game. So that's an 11 play parlay again. Me, every time I give you guys picks, I make the parlay. Yes, it's far fetched, but if you're gonna put $1 on some lottery ticket, I'll put $1 on this. My chances are higher of winning a lottery pick than it would be to win. My chances are higher to win this than it would be to win a lottery ticket. So I always do this, despite doing singles. I always do a parlay of everything I give you guys. And watch when you guys. Anyways, one of these days I'm gonna show you guys how it goes down on my ends. But anyways, I'm not going to keep you guys any longer than this. I'm going to wish you best of luck. And like I say all the time, please do not bet what you can't afford to lose. This is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not a race. It's not a 50-meter. We're trying to get to June, make money in cash. It's still October. It's still the beginning of the season. We only started doing the show October 3rd, October 4th, whenever the first day of whenever the first day of hockey was. So please do not bet what you can't afford to lose. Be safe, be good, and I'll see you again on Monday.